She said we needed more evidence before taking action. Right now, we had enough to raise questions, but not enough to prove undue influence in court. She suggested documenting every interaction from now on, recording dates and times and witnesses, building a timeline that showed Rebecca's escalating control over my mother's decisions and finances. Abigail said cases like this required patience because we needed to prove a pattern of manipulation, not just isolated incidents. She warned us that confronting my mother directly right now would probably backfire because Rebecca had her too convinced. Dylan called that evening with news about Phyllis Hamilton. She was one of Rebecca's former co-workers from 5 years ago at an insurance company downtown. Dylan had tracked her down through employment records and she agreed to meet with us. Phyllis said she'd bring her daughter Danielle, who went to high school with Rebecca, and had stories we needed to hear. We arranged to meet them the next day at a coffee shop near Diane's house. I spent that night unable to sleep thinking about what they might tell us, and whether it would be enough to save my mother from whatever Rebecca was planning. I met Phyllis and Danielle at the coffee shop the next morning. Phyllis was in her 50s with tired eyes that looked like they'd seen too much workplace drama. Danielle sat next to her mother holding a folder stuffed with papers. We ordered drinks and found a quiet corner booth away from other customers. Phyllis pulled out her phone and showed me photos of Rebecca from 5 years ago at their insurance company. She looked younger, but her smile was the same one I'd seen at my mother's house. Phyllis explained that Rebecca joined their team claiming she needed the job to pay for cancer treatments. Everyone felt sorry for her and pitched in money whenever she mentioned medical bills. The company even organized fundraisers and bake sales to help cover her expenses. Over 6 months, Rebecca collected more than $15,000 from coworkers who believed they were saving her life. Then someone's husband who worked at the hospital mentioned he'd never seen Rebecca there for treatments. The company investigated quietly and discovered Rebecca had never been sick at all. She'd made up doctor appointments and treatment schedules while actually spending the money on vacations and shopping. Management gave her a choice between returning the money and leaving quietly or facing criminal charges. Rebecca chose to return most of it and disappeared within a week. Phyllis said she'd felt stupid for believing the lies, but Rebecca had been so convincing with her stories about pain and fear and gratitude. Danielle opened her folder and spread out printed screenshots from old social media accounts. She pointed to photos from high school showing Rebecca surrounded by different groups of students over the years. Danielle explained that Rebecca would target kids who seemed lonely or had problems at home. She'd become their best friend fast and learn all their secrets and vulnerabilities. Then Rebecca would create some crisis that made her the center of attention. Sometimes she claimed abuse from family members. Other times she invented illnesses or said someone was threatening her. She'd turn friends against each other by spreading rumors and lies until everyone was fighting. Then Rebecca would move on to a new group and start over. Danielle showed me a photo of a girl named Sarah who looked vaguely like me. Same hair color and similar features. Sarah had been Rebecca's target junior year until she figured out the manipulation and warned other students.